breeze. Big brave pants riding with ease.
Right, hi everyone. Here we are for our latest edition of Tales from the Hayloft. No guests this evening. We decided it would be quite nice if we just had a little chat ourselves.
Yes.
Sort of reflecting on the talks we've had with people so far, and just catching up with some of the thoughts on the Facebook group and other issues. So, one of the comments this week on our group was about how we all keep our riding mojo in the winter months when it's pretty miserable, dark, and it can be quite hard to keep that motivation to keep on riding. So, Hilary, how do you?
Yeah, I think, well, I suppose actually it was quite timely, that question coming up from lovely Lisa, because with Freya, as you know, over the last couple of months, she's been doing I've been doing quite a lot of rehabby type work with her because she was a bit sore and I needed to get the chiropractor out, and she's doing really well actually, just to let everybody know. So, but I sort of had to take my foot off the gas a bit in terms of lots of ridden work and sort of think of some alternative ways that I could work with her, but not necessarily always ridden work. And it's quite hard to sort of keep that motivation going, isn't it? And certainly when the nights you're in and the mornings are really dark and the weather's not great. And so I found actually I've really become quite interested and quite motivated in terms of getting her feeling great in her body. And doing quite a lot of I bought a course actually, and we will talk about it on one of the podcasts because I'm hoping I might be able to, I don't know, we'll talk to the lady and see if we can get some sort of discount for
This is a groundwork.
Yeah, so I bought a course. I think it's one that Tracy had promoted or posted.
Okay.
And it was literally just basic sort of stretches and really getting the horses sort of feeling quite good in their bodies. And so I've been doing that with Freya just to sort of help with really trying to get her to use her back and her hind end and stretch over her back and getting her to feel really good in herself.
And so did you have a total no riding for a
No,
month?
not a total.
It was just alongside?
Yeah, not a total no riding, but she had a bit of a problem, sort of like a girthing up issue, which we've talked about before. And when I did a bit of research into that, I sort of thought, well, actually, I think that's really perhaps coming from her not using herself correctly. I knew that she needed a chiropractic appointment because we hadn't had one for a long time. We've had physio, but not chiropractic. And so I was waiting for that to come in. And so I thought, actually, I started to do some research and thought, well, I'm going to do some groundwork with her because this time of year, it's difficult to keep motivated, isn't it? And
it is.
Sometimes when, if you're working during the day, you've got to get up to the yard and you're up there in the dark. You do your horses in the dark. You go to work. You come back. You go up to the yard or field or wherever you keep your horses, and it's dark again. And so actually,
quite usually raining.
Raining
or blowing a gale.
Yeah, and if you haven't got, a school or anything like that, it's actually quite difficult to keep them ticking over and to keep
and
that
quite
motivation.
Hard to, even if you were going to an arena hire, it's quite hard to want to do that after a long day at work in the dark, having to sort of wrestle with wet rugs and wet coats and
muddy
everything.
Horses. It's really.
I mean, I love my riding, but come 6 or 7 o'clock in the dark, I'm not really wanting to start loading up and then coming back late and having to muck out the lorry and all the rest of it. So it is difficult.
It is really difficult. And so I suppose I've gone off topic a little bit, but it sort of combines. I found that doing this groundwork with her, she's actually feeling really great in her body. So I don't necessarily have to do, 40 minutes in the school or whatever. I can do 10, 20 minutes of doing these stretches.
Yeah, I think less is more sometimes, isn't it? So if you're doing 40 minutes but she's not using herself as well.
Yeah.
Then to add in that
Yeah.
10 minutes on another day that helps her in a different way, that's going to be really beneficial.
You know, and I've really enjoyed learning. You know, I've always done basic stretches like the carrot stretches, but this video just showed me a few more stretches that I could do with her. And yeah, it's sort of, I think it sort of motivated me more. Like I had a lesson with you
in which I could really
Saturday.
see the difference.
Yeah, I was delighted that you could see it, because you sort of think, oh, I hope I'm doing her some good. I hope, you know, I feel like she's looking good. She's not losing.
She was a lot more settled in her frame and her contact. She really used to throw her head around quite a lot, didn't she? And sort of unsettled, not quite happy about how she was working, and it was like a different horse. So it's definitely doing some good.
Yeah, no, I've sort of really enjoyed learning it and doing this with her, and I think sometimes we beat ourselves up in the winter, don't we? It's like, oh, I should be doing this, or I should be doing that, or, you know, I haven't ridden enough this week, and it's really easy to do that, and then it's really easy to get very negative about it and down about it. Whereas actually, I've done 10 minutes on some days. I've done 10 minutes every single day with her doing this.
Yeah.
Some days I haven't worked her, other days I have. And I feel good about myself for doing that, and she feels good in her body.
And it's probably good for the bond between you as well, because
I definitely
she probably
think so.
enjoys that.
Yeah.
And having that time with you when you're not on her case when you're riding her, but you know what I mean. They can sometimes feel a bit like, if it's not going amazingly well and there's a bit of miscommunication, it isn't the positive time we want to spend with them. So it's quite nice if you can take a different approach and have a really lovely experience that
I really
everybody's
agree.
enjoying. So I quite like it on the days where I just put a massage rug on Prince, or, you know, give him a really good brush, or anything like that you just spend a little bit more time not riding.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, I'm quite lucky because the yard and my work is really flexible, so I do manage to ride in the daylight normally, which does make it much easier to stay motivated. Not so much when it's horrible weather, but I'm not really a fair weather rider. I tend to ride as long as it's not going to be hideous for the horses. I think if it's really blowing a gale, it can get a bit dangerous, and if the rain is completely torrential, I don't think there's much fun in it.
I don't even think they enjoy it.
No, I don't think so. So, but usually we don't get many days where it's really heavy rain all day. So I try and look at the weather and plan accordingly. And I think planning is how I get through the winter for sure, and keeping my motivation. So I know that, you know, when as soon as I get home from a competition, I'm right, where's the next one? Yeah. So I've done a BD medium today. It wasn't as good as the last time, but it was a harder test. I was a bit distracted. It was okay. I achieved my over 60% goal. So I've sort of come home and thought, now I actually don't want to go out and do another test for a few weeks, because there's a few bits I need to just get better at, really. I seem to have forgotten how to ride a half pass, and I've never been able to do a walk pirouette, so I can do them in my lessons, but somehow in a test I just and throw the horse around in some sort of desperate attempt to get it right. So I haven't booked another dressage test, but I have in my mind looked in January and got the date that I think I'll go to, and now I'm going to plan some lessons. So I've kind of always got a short-term goal. Yeah. And then we did the arena eventing at the weekend, which was really good fun at Dorset Showground, and I have straight away booked the next one of those, and I think you're going to go.
I am, yeah.
And as hopefully some of our other sort of training buddies are going to go along to that as well, because it's quite nice to be able to support each other. It
is, and I think that in itself is quite motivating, isn't it? I mean, doing things with your friends, whether it's going for a hack, organising to go for a hack together, so you can have a good old natter, going to an event together. I think this Sunday, but show jumping.
Oh yeah, Crofton.
Well, you told me about the show jumping. Yeah. Oh, okay, well I'm going to go and do that.
Yes.
And then in sort of preparation for going to the arena eventing at the end of the month. And it's just nice if you're going to meet somebody there
Yes.
rather than, going on your own and
It's
all the
just
rest
sometimes
of it.
it's just having someone there that if you have to leave your horse for 5 minutes to go
Yeah.
and walk the course,
Yeah.
that there'll be someone who can keep an eye on them, or someone to come and, just reassure you when you have your panic or whatever,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
not going to be able to remember the course. Just all that sort of thing,
Yeah.
or just a smiley face, to be honest.
Yeah,
I
no,
love seeing. So I went to Bob today, and I must have seen sort of 3 or 4 people that I wouldn't normally see in my day-to-day life, and you sort of stop and you have a chat, and
Yeah, no, it's nice,
eventually
isn't it?
get to go home because you've had your chat with everyone. Peggy sits in the lorry going, oh my God, I'm talking to someone else. Who's that? So I like that, and I like sort of going back to shows that you become familiar with the venues and the people who run it as well.
Yeah, no,
So
I agree, yeah.
and then they become quite a smiley, encouraging person as well, just when they're in the collecting ring or the stewards at the dressage and things. So
Well, it's important, isn't it? Because like most of us, and certainly most of us in Big Brave Pants, spend time with our horses because we just love it, and it's our downtime. It's not. I know sometimes when you've got professionals or whatever, it's slightly different because that's their job, and so they look at things slightly different. But certainly for me, and I think for you and many of the others, it is about that social element of it as well, isn't it?
it is. And I think when you've only got one horse, or maybe some people have got a couple, but my horse, he's my kind of sole purpose really of my hobby.
Yeah.
So I really like getting out and going to things with him, and then with my friends as well, and their horses, and the whole, the horses get to know each other, don't they? Which is
No,
nice.
they do, yeah.
Well, nice. I'm not sure Freya likes Prince very much.
Oh no, I think she likes him quite a lot.
In a sort of marish way.
Yes, yeah. It's a sort of love-hate relationship, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's one thing you're really good at planning.
I do try. So another tip, we've just got a chart with the days of the week and then the horses. So mine and Peggy's horses, and then our other horse that someone shares, that Anna from the group shares. So we've got the 4 of them there, the days of the week, and I do every day. It's only a piece of a spreadsheet that I printed out and then laminated with my lovely laminator, pinned on the wall of the feed room, and I just write on it. And every week I take a picture of it. So I have a record of, I mean, I don't very often go back and look, but it's actually really useful in the week because it's amazing how quickly forget.
Yeah.
Did he have a day off that day? Or what did I do that day? Did I go in the school or did I go on a hack? Actually, when it's there in black and white, and I think we had an arena hire Monday. I can't even remember already. I'm demonstrating well. I think I went on a hack yesterday and then a competition today, and I think, okay, probably day off tomorrow or quiet walk. But actually in the winter, I'm also think if it's not raining, I tend to ride because
you never know when it's
there's going to be a day, isn't there, where you
totally.
really don't want to ride and it's not productive to do so. So I tend to make those the days off in the winter. But I do kind of look at the work level, and I try and vary it as well.
Yeah.
So I always try and get at least 1 hack in a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably more than that. But I would also try and get 2 schoolings in.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 that's got poles involved. So I think the poles are really beneficial. I just did a 20-minute walk pole session with Prince last week or the week before, and so there were 6 raised poles. We went through them, did a little bit of lateral bendy stuff in between. He was amazing the next day. And I think, like you're saying about the groundwork with Freya,
I do a lot of that in hand over raised poles with her, because she's got, as you know, has a problem with her stifle, so she has them injected every year. But it's really good for her just to be able to pick up and walk over.
And the physios do always tell us they raised poles are really good, but actually I really noticed that the next day. And actually, interestingly, Elton, slightly not poles, but similar, he's had this SI problem last season, had that injected. And as part of his rehab, we started to go to the Aqua treadmill at Kirsty Johnson's. And Peggy rode him today after he went to the treadmill yesterday, and she said he felt amazing. Yeah. And I think it is. They I mean, we all know it really, don't we? vary our work and stretch properly. And
Yeah.
I mean, I don't do anything other than riding, and I probably should do, but
No, I think actually doing, like I said with Freya, doing the in-hand stuff, or actually doing stuff with them when you're not on their back, allowing their back to move freely, and then because we, without us sort of sat on them and encumbering them and their movement.
I did actually video Elton in the treadmill, because
you really see
oh my
that.
goodness, his back and how much they have to concentrate on staying straight as well.
Yeah.
They take their mind off the job for a minute and they're like, ooh.
Yeah.
And a bit wobbly and have to correct themselves. So there's quite a lot of concentration on keeping the strides completely correct and straight. And you can really see.
Yeah.
And he, probably when I think back, his back wasn't very, it didn't move very much.
No.
And you kind of think, oh, it's just how he is. But actually, it wasn't just how he is. He's had a problem that's really stopped him moving. It wasn't crippling, and he wasn't lame. And it's sometimes those kind of lower level things that people you're not aware of. They don't.
And also then they end up compensating, don't they? And it manifests in a different problem. Sort of. So was it when you took him? Was it Alice that's at the?
Yes.
Yeah.
She
So
was
she's
at the treadmill. She's your physio.
Yeah,
isn't
she is. So it would be really nice to get her on here actually talking about that. I'm sure she will.
Yeah, because she must have loads to say about that.
Yeah.
And having seen Elton on it, and then Peggy saying how good he feels, I think I might try and take Prince as well, because I think it's just really good strengthening, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's really, really good. I had quite a bit of a shocking time the last time that I went there to start with.
Scarface.
Yes.
Do tell everyone.
Oh God, yeah, no, it was nothing to do with the treadmill itself, to be fair. But if you've ever been to the treadmill at Lamford, it's Lamford Stud, isn't it? That's Kirsty Johnson's. It's quite on a hill, and I took our very old lorry, Betty, and I didn't realise that it was so windy. So I parked the lorry out, got Freya off, and she was on the treadmill. And the next thing I know, someone comes running down and says, I think the roof has just come off the top of your lorry.
Not a sentence.
No, it's like,
hear, really.
It's sort of, I went, what? And like 2 or 3 times she said it. I was like, what? Anyway, so I ran up there with this girl, and I kid you not, the wind had got underneath the metal bit and peeled it right back, so it was just waving in the end, like a 7.5 ton lorry, and it was a long wheelbase lorry as well, so it was a big old piece. It looked like one of those sardine tins, where you roll the
it
was waving
really,
about. I was terrified because there were the horses in the field next to it. I thought, oh my God, if the wind grabs that and it takes it into the field, I was really worried that a horse is going to get hurt. So me and this poor girl were trying to grab this roof and try and sort of tie it down with some rope, and then all of a sudden I felt the wind take it, so I sort of yelled at her to run out the way, so she sort of ran that way and I ran that way. Anyway, the next thing I know, a bar had flown over and sort of hit me in the face. I laugh now about it, but it was quite shocking. So yeah.
That was nasty. How many stitches did you need?
8 stitches. So I feel like it's like character building now.
Yeah, I've got various dents and things in my body. Like you think, honestly, that's where Otis did that to me. So
lovely.
Similar sort of dent in my finger from him landing on me when I was trying to rescue him from a gate. Horsey tails. Fortunately,
no one was really hurt. The horses were fine. Freya was on the treadmill safe, and we all sort of lived to tell another tale. But the treadmill is brilliant, and watching her back and everything.
I'd like to say the roof's never blown off our lorry, but it has.
Has it?
Yes. We were driving down the motorway, actually.
Oh my God.
And I mean, it's a long time ago now, but there was a funny noise, and Samuel went back into the living and went, he just said, I think the roof's blown off, which again, it's not a sentence you really want to hear when you're driving. Anyway, all was well.
I know, terrifying. Absolutely
it is terrifying.
Oh dear. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
the treadmill is brilliant, and yeah, definitely go if you can. Just don't go on a
Not
windy
on a windy
day.
day.
But that whole movement, I really like poles on the ground, and actually, I think going back to the conversation of, you know, even if you've just got a field, you've got no stables, you've just got a field, if you can find a dryish patch and just set out some posts or poles or something for them to walk over as walk poles, and just do that, you know, 10 times, if that's all you've got time to do, it really helps with them moving. So yeah, no, I like doing that as well.
Excellent.
Yeah, a definite one for doing the old in-hand stuff. And it's just, I think if you've only got 20 minutes, then you can do a lot of good with it. So
on the planning front, we've got the evening coming up before Christmas nibbles and drinks, and planning and helping people try and keep some enthusiasm. I'm hoping that Lisa will come, but I'm not sure yet. But we've got 25 people. I'm starting to think we won't fit them in my house, but I'm sort of envisaging a session where everyone can kind of say where they are with their horse, what areas of interest they have, and then maybe we can sort of break off into groups to kind of just go through it's really easy to find things to do these with the sort of My Riding Life and NFED that we've got locally with events listed. So, but it's actually quite time consuming.
Yeah, no, it is.
And we quite often have a planning evening. We'll get the diary out and we'll go through everything. You'll write down all the possibilities, sort of work. I think if you put something in the future, you can then work back from with lessons and things you might need to take steps to get to the thing you want to do. But even if it's just people meeting up to go for a hack.
Yeah. And also, it'll be really nice that evening to find out some ideas of things that people want to do.
Yeah.
And see if there's a bit of a common denominator there, and then we can plan some things.
I think I might try and do a position clinic. My problem in the winter, as you know, is it's not very much parking here, so it's quite hard to do group things. But I could do kind of one at a time, half an hour sessions, and try and find a way of people coming back after they've done, or coming to watch other people and support before their session, so that it becomes a bit more of a supportive event. But I think focusing on position is really useful. It makes such a difference.
Yeah, that really does.
When I'm in lessons, you can just see sometimes if someone might be just sat slightly forward, sits up, shoulders back, completely different for the horse as well as the rider. So you can make some quite small tweaks for some big gains, I think, if you look at position and no stirrup work. I mean, do you often do no? I mean, I don't, but I should.
I mean, I accidentally did a bit of no stirrup work on Saturday.
Don't think that counts. Yeah. So I think maybe we should set a little challenge to everyone to do, I don't know, 10 minutes of no stirrup work a week or something. I think sometimes people, I don't know whether it's happened this year, but there's been no stirrup November, and then you think, well, poor horse. Yeah. That's a lot for a horse, for a rider not to have their stirrups for the entire month. But I like 10 minutes once a week.
Yeah, no.
Even if you just walk, does actually help your seat
and
your feeling of how the horse is moving.
But when I talked to, I think it's when we went up to Victoria's, I said about trying to work on my core strength. Well, even finding my core, to be fair. I think I'd left it somewhere at the time. And she said, right, well, what you need to do is rising trot with no stirrups for a number of minutes. My God, you're having a laugh, aren't you?
I might do that tomorrow. I'm going to set myself some little goals.
Yeah.
Now I'm not going to do my dressage for a month or so. It's quite nice because I feel like I can play around with things a little bit. And it doesn't matter if it messes something up a little bit in the meantime. We can put it back together in time for the next test. I'm also going to try and teach Prince and myself actually to do some nice fly changes. That's my goal, because I've sort of got to medium level And if I want to go any further, that's what we need to go further. So
Oh, wow.
that's the next step.
Well, it's good, like you say, it's good to have a goal, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you've got a goal, then you can sort of work towards that, plan how you're going to sort of like get to that goal. It doesn't matter what that goal is, but
dressage is quite good for that, because I think if you ever, which I do sadly, when I'm looking at the levels, so when I wanted to do medium, I went through all the medium tests and wrote down all the things that were in there that were new from elementary. So
right,
even things like today's test, you have to canter and turn across rather than round the school, turn across on a 90 degree.
yeah,
It isn't a 90 degree turn, but it's not a curve. So that's quite new and quite different, and simple changes across the diagonal rather than a little curve, which is surprisingly hard, I find. So, but it gives you a bit of a purpose in your schooling. And I think if people are planning as well, maybe schooling sometimes, do 1 day basics, get the 20-metre circles good, get your rhythm good, etc. And then maybe on another day, look at the level above and try and, practice some medium strides, or work out what it is that you need. It sort of helps structure your training for flat work if you look at the tests, because they are progressive in the training. So
I think that is something that I'm a bit guilty of, actually. It's like structuring my training when I'm not like having a lesson with you or with Josie or whatever. And actually it was useful on Saturday when I had that lesson with you, because it was very much working on, doing quite a lot of sort of 20-metre circles and sort of transitions within that. So
I don't like
trot,
just
walk,
going on a circle and going round and round in a circle, because I think the horses must get bored. And actually, if you start to, I like a pattern. So like a 20-metre circle in trot, and then a transition, and then a leg yield, I think we were doing that, and then a canter, and then a circle, and just keep repeating it, but with enough variation. They're not just going round and round and round and round in trot, and then round and round and round and round the other way, and then canter the same.
It was quite a lot of sort of transition work, which was good. And then also, sort of when I was coming down the long side, like you were saying, almost think about having a little bit of outside flexion with her, which
I think a lot of riders have too much inside rein. I think
I'm definitely very guilty of that.
So if you sometimes think about straightening them up and having your or almost, like we say, almost counterflexion, then you actually just improve things.
Definitely having a plan, having a goal. The other thing I was going to ask you as well, and I don't know if I dreamt this, I might have done it. Do you journal?
Oh yeah, I do. I'm a real diary person, so I can't have a phone diary. I love a proper diary. I can see my week, but as well as that's my planning ahead diary. And then since I was 17, actually have written a daily diary. But I have stacks and stacks. But I also now have a print diary. Going to bed is quite a lengthy process, because by the time I've plastered my skin back on and then sat and done all my diaries and my lists and logged everything, it's quite lengthy. But there's also, I mentioned, didn't I, Equilab, which I do a little bit of advertising for them. It's a little app on the phone, and it's almost like a diary, because it does you a kind of calendar of what training you've done. So you set it running at the beginning. It does walk, trot, canter recognition, although I've only got the free version. I don't know whether the premium would be better. It doesn't always get the right pace as far as I can work out. Don't know whether that's because Prince is slow, fast, I don't know. But it does tell you how many transitions you make. It tells you how much time on right and left rein, but it does also, mainly just tell you how long you've ridden. So it's and you get a bar on your little calendar, so you can see, oh gosh, that was a big work that day, do a little bit this day. The bars have different colours for walk, trot, canter, so it's quite a good kind of tool for tracking, and you can share with friends. So I guess you can sort of like make
yourself accountable, really, if you do it with.
I haven't quite looked at what other people are doing, but it's quite good for sort of looking at shared hacks and routes, maybe. You can add photos as well, which I quite like doing as well. When
Yeah.
I'm on a hack, it's quite
Yeah.
nice to sort of log a little photo with it. But yes, I am definitely, I love a list and I love a diary or a logbook. I mean, I've written down every day, everything I've done with Prince since I got him. So we're nearly up to 3 years of,
Wow.
you know, it doesn't always say very much. Like if I ride him around the common, it literally says common. That's it. But we just walk round. But
Yeah.
if I go to a lesson and there's something particularly new that the pennies dropped or whatever, then I try and make a note of that. I'm not very good at going back to look at it. I probably need to look back at my half pass, how to ride a half pass lessons, because I definitely forgotten that. But it is useful.
Yeah, I think it would. I mean, I like, you know, if you can video a lesson, but you can't always video a lesson. But actually, like you say,
It's quite
writing
hard
it
to
down.
have the time to go back and watch the lesson as well.
I always feel like when I need 3 things, right? What I should say, and we talked about it anyway, but like after I've had a lesson, is like, right, tell me 3 things I've got to work on. Because I think everybody can remember 3 things, can't they? Sometimes I think it gets a bit overwhelming, doesn't it? And then if it becomes overwhelming, then it's almost, it feels like too big a mountain to climb, and then you get demotivated, and it's sort of
definitely.
But yeah, I in my head I thought, I'm sure Becky journals. I'm sure she does.
Yeah, maybe that's something we should suggest for all our big brave pants people.
Yeah,
it's quite hard to say.
Yes.
For 2026.
Well, maybe
I love a new, you know, starting the new year.
Yeah.
Let's all just log what we do with our horses.
Yeah.
Even if it is just groundwork or a groom or something, because then we can all see. And, you know, if I look back in my journal, sort of, I could see, what was I doing 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And then actually it's much easier to remember that you've made progress.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Because I think when I first got Prince, I couldn't get canter one way, or we could canter, but we could only go up the long side and then he'd fall back to trot.
Yeah.
He was only 4, so it was completely to be expected. But, you know, I look back at that.
Yeah.
And even a year ago, I really struggled to keep him cantering in a test. And now, probably in the last month, he seems to be getting stronger.
Yeah.
And he's 7, so I guess some horses find some things easier sooner, but he's
they don't
definitely
really stop growing until they're sort of 6, 7-year-olds, do they? And so it sort of makes sense, doesn't it? That they're going to find stuff difficult. And, you know, if you ask, you know, if we're working them correctly and we're asking them to work from behind and sit on their hind,
it takes a while to build up that muscle.
Definitely.
And I shocked myself and everyone else with not being slow at the arena event.
I know. When you said that,
I definitely think that a full cross-country course is probably too much for me and Prince. We're not speedy over that length of time. But it seems that a 2-minute show jumping and cross-country round, we're fab. And I was thinking, it was even to the point, I was like a second too fast. I was like, I couldn't even really ride any differently, because it was in at over 120 something seconds. So it's too small a difference to actually try and correct. I didn't really cut in any lines, no. But obviously, I didn't hang on to him.
No.
And I let him flow. And interestingly,
and he covers the ground quite well.
Yeah. And, you know, I used to really worry if he landed on the wrong leg or if he landed disunited. I'd be slowing down, trying to go back to trot, trying to sort it out. Now, I just carry on. And actually, he's quite good at... He
sorts it out himself.
And I watch him, and he might land disunited. Then he changes to go back to his favourite one. Then he might, a minute later, if I just ride forward, he changes again onto the right one. So there's hope for advanced medium. Because I did for a long time think that he couldn't, I can remember having a lesson with Zoe Pyatt and trying to get him to land from a jump on the right, not the correct, the right canter lead. He just didn't seem to be able to do it, to the extent we were like, is there actually something wrong with him? But he can now.
Yeah.
So it is a strength
thing.
thing. And just, I suppose they favour sides like we do. And when they're young, they probably no one makes them do the weaker
No,
side.
I
So
know. Yeah.
yeah. And you and Freya have gone the other way. You actually looked really lovely and smooth and rhythmical
slower.
and in control.
Yes, a bit slower. She definitely needs slowing down.
And what have you entered at Crofton for this coming weekend?
I haven't. I've got to do it tonight when I get
okay.
home.
Make
But
sure
I'm going
you
to do the 70
Yeah.
and the 80, I think,
Yeah.
just to get back in it. I mean, she would jump a lot bigger than that, but I haven't really jumped her for ages. So I just thought I'd go and use it as just a bit of a practice type thing.
Yeah, because I never go thinking I'm going to try and win, because you actually have to go quite at the show jumping. It's fastest, isn't it?
Yeah.
And some of those ponies just flat rounds, and I wouldn't want to make Prince jump like that. And I probably couldn't jump like that. So, but I go with trying to jump a nice round and like you say, sort of a schooling round almost practice.
I just think it's not too expensive to do, and just to be able to turn up. It's indoor, isn't it? It's usually indoor.
Outdoor warm up and indoor jumping.
So you've got a whole set of jumps in there that we've never seen before.
Yeah.
Or we probably have been before, but we haven't been for a while. I think it's just good to have a bit of a practice around it. But definitely not wanting to go and be competitive in terms of these little nippy little ponies with these little kids that are
If
flying
I jump
around.
a clear at something like that, I feel like I've won. That's the kind of aim.
Yeah. No, I'm just, that is exactly why I'm going, is just to have a bit of a play about and a practice. And I thought if I do that on the do that in the 70, and then we'll go in and do the 80, and I'll be happy with that, and then we'll do the arena eventing at the end of the month. So
I try and set myself little sub goals as well for things like that. So either I'm thinking I want to try and land on the correct leg more, or ride a more forward consistent round. Or I think last time when I went, the time before, I was obsessed with adding a stride in the distances. So they're quite often, they're either 4 or 5. They don't have doubles just because of the differing size of horses and ponies they get there, but they'll have a sort of 4 stride or a 5 stride distance across the middle. And I just would have it in my head that I needed to add, but I wouldn't even do it with a very good plan. I'd kind of jump in and then and then slower and slower and slower, not collecting and riding a nice extra stride. Anyway, so the aim was to make the distances, which totally can if you ride forward. So it's quite nice to have a little goal like that. So, because sometimes show jumping, if you have a pole, which it's easy to do, it's kind of like, oh,
I've had a pole,
you don't go home feeling like you've had a clear. But actually, if you have some little sub goals, and to be honest, with a lot of horses, for people getting out and finding goals, their goal might be that the horse copes with being in the warm up.
Yeah.
And they might find that it's totally overwhelming in the indoor arena, but actually maybe just going in, riding round and coming out and patting your horse if you know it's too much for it. Is that step, and then you go back to an arena higher, and then the next time you can come, and
you sort of progress from it.
Yeah,
I think, like, for me, certainly for Sunday, my goal is to just get a bit of practice in, but also I think sometimes I couldn't see a stride for love nor money really, and I remember watching this masterclass with Ben Mayer. And he was talking about, people getting obsessed with seeing a stride. But he said the biggest thing you need to be obsessed with is just getting a good, consistent canter and being able to ride your corners in a good, consistent canter and keeping that rhythm. And that's what you're working towards and worrying.
Yeah.
And your job is to get the horse to the jump in a good, consistent
canter
canter that they can jump out
and straight.
Yeah, and their job is to jump the jump.
Yeah.
So I think
everybody overthinks it, and I this is why I used to be so slow. I think because I thought if I made my stride so teeny weeny, I couldn't possibly get it wrong because there was always room for another because they were tiny. Whereas now you have to be quite brave, I think, to go on a forward stride because it becomes easier to mess it up.
Yeah.
It feels like that. But probably easier for the horse to sort it out.
Yeah.
And you're not always going to go on a perfect stride.
No.
If anyone is listening and wants some good show jumping lessons, David Thomas is
You've talked
amazing at the kind of sports, almost the sports psychology behind it, and has spent some lovely lessons with me and Peggy, and we must organise some more.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
just talking through the plan for the round. Know your horse, what distance they need to add a stride on, because they're all different. And if not everyone has the standard stride that the courses are built on, but they can normally cope, but you might need to ride forward if it's a 3, and they can just about make the 3, but if it gets to 4 you have to shorten. And I love all that of trying, because then it becomes properly technical riding it, rather than just going around on a wing and a prayer and hoping the horse scrambles over the jumps. So I can't remember where I was going with that, but he is very much there. You're not going to get a perfect stride every time, and it isn't failure or a problem if the horse has to sometimes chip in or go on a bit of a long one. Peggy, her favourite thing with Elton, which she stopped doing now because she realised she was doing it, is you'd kind of be going in a nice canter that the horse can jump out, and then she'd see a stride and she'd suddenly change his canter.
To make the
and then he's like, stride. But hang on a minute. like you say, that was Elton's job. He had a plan, and then suddenly the rider has changed the plan. The horse can see how far they are from the jump as well. So, I mean, some horses you can probably do a bit more, but Elton, he definitely didn't like it when Peggy sort of changed the plan without consulting him, really. 2 strides out of the jump where he didn't have that much time to process the plan change, and he would then stop, which I feel is totally within his rights to do, because he hasn't had time to kind of work out that that's okay. Peggy's, the O'Connor that we had, who was lovely, would jump anything off, he just wanted to jump. I don't think he'd have stopped. So, and Peggy had him for a lot of years, so you get into that. It takes a bit of getting used to the fact that stopping isn't always, like, it's not a failure, especially when you're training. Obviously on a course you don't want to get it wrong, but another very good instructor, Di Burgess, she was good at getting her to realise that it's just feedback. So if the horse stops, it's telling you that you've done something or something's happened, and it's as long as you learn from it. The most frustrating thing to see is if people just keep coming in and doing exactly the same and then get eliminated. Anyway, yes. So you can think of some more little goals. I know. Crofton on Sunday.
So we've got a bit of a plan. So that's good. So bringing it back to being motivated at this time of year, then I feel like we've got a bit of a plan then now, haven't we? So we've got our get together, and we'll put some plans together for that.
And if that goes well, we can always advertise a kind of New Year one for people who haven't had a chance to come to that one. So it's quite a nice chance. I think some of the people I probably haven't met, and definitely they haven't met each other. Well, hopefully a few people that have not been to anything before will come to that as well. And my friend Rachel from Sandhurst is coming, so we can twist her arm to set up a group a bit further up the country, so we can have Big Brave Pants Sandhurst or whatever area that is.
No, that'd be lovely. So I've got a bit of a fun thing for us to do. I did allude to this earlier on a telephone call. Actually, I've stolen this idea from another podcast, but I just thought it was really good fun today. So you've got a question for me, and I've got a question for you. And we've got 30 seconds to say as many of these as you possibly. No, this is really easy.
Because I just say random words.
No, it's not. No. This is really easy. It's easy. I'm slightly concerned about what you're going to give me, but I thought this is easy. So we've got a timer over there. It's going to be set to 30 seconds. And your question is, you have got to name as many breeds of horse
Okay.
as you can in 30 seconds, and your time starts now.
Connemara, thoroughbred, New Forest pony, Welsh ABCD.
Oh, hang on. Welsh A, B, C, D, yeah.
Shetland,
Yeah,
Falabella,
yeah,
Irish Draught,
yeah,
Warm Bloods,
yeah,
Dutch and various others, Lusitano.
yeah,
What's the other one? I can't think those now. Lipitana,
yeah,
Morgans.
yeah.
Come on, me. Arab.
Yep. And your time is up. Oh, 15. That was 15, I think.
Slight cheat on the Welsh ABCD.
I know. I was like, I felt like Ted Rogers on a 3, 2, 1. You know, it's like.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm
Right.
going to
So I'm
that.
going to give yours. It's a bit of a see which brands we can plug, because I'm going to give you 30 seconds to name as many horsey brands in any feed, whatever, as you can.
Right. Okay. So, and when does my time start?
Now.
Okay, so we've got Dodson and Horrell, we've got Bailey's, we've got Lemure, we've got, I'm counting for myself, Lemure, we've got Woofware, Acavello, that's another one, isn't it? Steuben, we've got, oh my God, I'm terrible at this. What else? Rugs. Horseware, Rambo, oh my God.
Stop.
I was totally caught on that.
Sorry, that was probably quite a...
Oh yeah, she's a big brave pants.
Our own brand, yes.
Yes.
Merchandise
it's
to be
rubbish
coming
at that.
soon.
How many did I get back?
I don't know, to be honest, because I'm really rubbish at counting. But you did very well, and you named some nice brands. I'm not sure all of them were brands. I don't know. They might have been styles within the brand.
Oh,
Rambo
really?
horse. I don't know.
I think Rambo is like a horseware.
Some of the other.
Yeah.
It's quite hard though. It's almost harder because it's such a massive. It's so many. But I thought, I give you. That was quite a good one.
No,
I didn't
it's
ask
good
you to do a favourite.
Favourite.
No, we won't do that.
My favourite is Big Brave Pants.
Yes.
Yeah, so I did actually steal that off of another podcast that I was listening to.
Very good.
Yes, so just a bit of fun. Okay, so we have got a few people lined up over the coming weeks, haven't we?
I think Louise Munro next time.
Louise. We've got lovely Sally Jolly, who is in the group and is an author. Her books are lovely.
Nice.
So it'd be really nice to have a chat with her.
Tracy coming to talk about some land management
Oh yeah, that'd be really good.
plans.
Actually.
It'll be really interesting. I was at the Healthy Horse conference, which I went to last week or the week before, I can't remember. They had some really interesting speakers, but one of the topics is kind of giving your horse the best life outside of the hour or however long that we're with them, and the ways that we can start to sort of enhance their time. They're not bored, they're not stood in a stable for longer than they need to be. And there are loads of ways of keeping horses, but some of the ideas around track systems, which is great but possibly quite hard. There's some planning limitations, I think. Definitely in the New Forest here, it's quite hard to do much. Without sort of falling foul of planning laws, which is fine. But you know, even just changing fencing and things, you've just got to be careful. I can't remember where I was going with that. Oh yeah,
Tracy. Yeah, so that links quite nicely with Tracy coming. Yeah, so that would be really useful to listen to. Yeah, there's a few others as well, but. If you're listening to this and you've been thinking, I'd quite like to go on.
Oh yeah, do get in touch.
Big Brave Pants. We'd love to have you on the sofas with us so we can find out more about you and your horse and your lives outside of horses as well. I think we haven't done, we'll bring back product of the week next time as well.
Yes,
I think
we just wanted to chat about
talked enough
plans
today. Yeah, plans, definitely. maybe we'll have a journal as being the product of the week.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be a Big Brave Pants journal.
Oh, that's a good idea. A new year, new thing.
Yeah, that would be good. But as with always, we would love it if you could like this podcast, blog, video.
Oh yeah, we're on Spotify.
We are on Spotify now as well, so you can listen to the podcast on Spotify. But if you could like, subscribe and share, we would really, really appreciate that. And I think that what that leaves us to say is this is an absolute wrap, and something I think we might introduce is hopefully a new sort of strap line with using the Big Brave Pants at the end of the podcast
on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks everybody for watching and listening. As I say, that's a wrap, and we will see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Clip-clop dreams in a dusty dance. Hooves hit the ground like a brave romance. Through the wire, through the breeze, big brave pants riding with ease. Big brave pants trot to the beat. Step by step, it's a rhythmic feat. Brave and bold, no second glance. Saddle up tight in your big brave pants. Gallop through fields, let the rhythm sway. Every hoofbeat says we'll find our way. Tick-tock, clip-clop, onward we prance. Living the dream in big brave pants. Big brave pants trot to the beat. Step by step, it's a rhythmic feat. Brave and bold, no second glance. Saddle up tight in your big brave pants.